and welcome to my channel. I'm the Angry Simmer. If you're watching this on its intended day, Monday, the week before Halloween, happy Monday. And if you're watching it any other day, welcome to the channel. You're fine. You can watch these videos whenever you want to. There's no rules here. Anyways, if you see that little ghost in the corner, you are in for a little treat. It is my symbol for my spooky week builds and creative sims and fun things like that. That's right. We are going to spend this week prior to Halloween building some creepier looking builds. Now, like this build in particular, some of them are not going to have floor plans in them. They're just made to look like the houses you'd never go into anyways. So that's what we're going to do. And below, or not below, I'm seeing it as below because it's on my editing software. But if you're listening to the music that's going along with my voice, it's still the music from my dad that was on my Rory's Building Challenge video. So if you think that's pretty cool and you haven't seen Rory's Building Challenge, October build challenge that I did, go check that out. It's on my channel. I probably should have waited to put it into Spooky Week, but I had the idea well after I posted that build, so that's what's going on there. But anyways, like I was saying, this build in particular isn't going to have any layout. It's just supposed to represent the creepy witch's house that I've mentioned before in one of my builds that I saw when I was a little girl. So if you didn't watch that, I can't remember which video it's on. I do believe that was on my very first video where I was talking about myself, which sounds narcissistic, but I was just saying hello. Anyways, I remember as a little girl walking in the subdivision that my grandparents lived in. There was this creepy house that my grandparents told me a witch lived in. And I thought that was just absolutely crazy. And it stuck with me. And so I did this from memory of what 5-year-old me saw with that. So, you know, some things are a little different, I do believe, just because, you know, some things just don't work the same. Sims is a crazy animal that we can't tame. But anyways, I enjoy this. I don't love Halloween like the rest of the world does. I know, blasphemy. I'm a Christmas girl. What can I say? But the fun part about Halloween is, you know, making things, pretending to be someone you're not or something. Ooh, I'm being a cat this year, just so you all know. Yep, I'm handing out candy dressed up like a cat because I'm an adult, y'all. That is like the most unadult thing I've ever done, but I'm going to have fun with it. I don't care. My mother-in-law and I are going to sit out front of her subdivision with chocolate and wine and a fire pit, and we're going to hand candy out to little kids, and it's going to be a great time. But my mother-in-law's house looks nothing like this creepy house, which is pretty cool, because I wouldn't go there if it did. I'm a scaredy cat. But honestly, this doesn't seem like that creepy of a house when it's just sitting there by itself. But once I start to add on layers of trees and different things going on, I kind of feel like I maybe should have used like a less dark brick. And I should have put it in the vampire world, but I didn't. So, like I've always said, hindsight is 20/20. But you know, it's a cute little house. It's like a little gingerbread house. I can imagine this was, I don't know, originally maybe like a stable on some house, and like on a manor or a plantation, and somebody bought it and repurposed it as a tiny home, and then they just fell, hard on their luck and weren't able to take care of it anymore, so it's kind of gotten dilapidated and a little messy. So that's like the nice story for it. Like somebody just needs to come by and, you know, make it pretty again. It could be like the coolest tiny house ever, I think. But, you know, I like my own builds, so what are you gonna do? I wish I could get that little piece of ivy. I wish there was like smaller bits of it, because I would have liked to have that pop of green, because I do have the fall mod on right now. I need to link that in the description below for you guys. I will try and do that. I am right now, I'm working on editing this entire week, really. Tomorrow I plan on finishing two speed builds that are not very fast because they're larger builds. And then I will, they're going to be like, I'm going to say Wednesday And Friday's builds, I'm gonna place them there, I think, because I've got some creative sims and different things going on. So it'll be 3 builds and technically 2 creative sims that we're gonna do for this week. Yeah, so this build number 1, and you can see here, like right there, it looks like kind of cute and quaint, like grandma lives here. But the more I added, the more I was like, oh yes, this is terrifying. This is what I remember. Now, mind you, this is a very, very tight subdivision that my grandparents lived in, especially now. And this house is still like on its own lot like this, like a huge lot all by itself, surrounded by trees, unmanicured lawn. It's crazy because this is like, it's a lakeside subdivision in Kentucky. It's really nice. It's called Moore's Resort, which is also a great place to go camping and fishing, and all kinds of fun stuff. They like cabins and cool things. And my grandparents moved out of there when I was 5, so I cannot believe that I remember this. But yeah, this was like all by itself. If I do remember correctly, there's like a Magnolia Manor that's either a hotel or like a small apartment complex, and it's behind that. It's like down the hill behind it, and all the trees are surrounding it and overgrown lawn. And I say that it's still there, but it's been years since I've been back there. Like, probably the last time I actually was in Moores for any extended period of time was probably 2010. So somebody might have bought the property and cleaned it up, or the witch might have been like, you know what? I'm really not fitting in with the neighborhood. Maybe I'll clean things up. Who knows? Because I still believe a witch lives there. She might not be evil, but she's magical. That's what I believe, because witches aren't evil inherently anyways. At least not, not the way we think of them. Of course, they're humans, so humans are evil naturally, I feel like, but that's a whole other story. We're not going to get into philosophy here. But, I thought this was pretty cool. And maybe the witch is like a naturalist, and she didn't want to cut the grass because she felt like she didn't need to interrupt the earth, even though she put a house in the middle of a subdivision. Anywho, let's not try and rationalize these things. I will say that it's funny that I made a sim to build this, just because I usually, like, I've created so many sims for like real estate sim, or to create things and make them pretty. And Chip and Joanna are the only sims so far that I've like stuck with. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just, I have fun with The Sims, and I love Create a Sim the most, I think. So that's probably why I can't stick with just one. I do love that little piece of CC. It's like cut down trees, and I feel like it's just perfect, especially when you size it up for something like this, where you have a bunch of trees and you're like, oh, maybe I did a clearing. Oh, there's my game messing up on me. Gotta love that. I have a super strong video chip. I don't really know the words. My husband built the computer, and he's pretty great at it, so it should be okay. Wow, you could not see what I placed there, but it's like a taller piece of grass, CC. Anywho, sorry about that. I don't know if you guys heard that, but the UPS guy always knocks on the door. I don't know why, because it's not like he's waiting for me to pick stuff up. He just and tosses your package on the front porch, knocks on the door, and then runs out of there. Like, one time I happened to be in the living room when he knocked, so I caught him, I guess is the best way to put it. Or, well, I said something to him. I was like, hey, how's your day going? Isn't it a pretty day? He's like, it's still work. Like, he was looking down on me for being a housewife, and I was like, hey, I was just trying to make small talk and be nice to you, so maybe you'd stop tossing our mail on the ground like we're the worst people in the whole world. I don't know what he has against, like, you know what, there's the one, there's, I guess, FedEx will drop off our packages, and when they do, they like put them in front of the garage, which I hate, but every time I've interacted with them, or like our mail person, they're so nice. Like, I wanted to go out there and say something like, hey, could you just walk to the front porch, please, and put it on the porch so that I don't run over packages coming back. And he was so nice then that I was like, I'm not going to yell at him. I'm just going to be nice and deal with it. I'll just watch where I drive. I can clearly see when he's tossed a package by the front or by the garage, which is probably like a I don't know, probably either to save time for them or because, to get to our front door, you have to like get out of your vehicle, walk around to the front into the alcove, which is, not that big of a deal. It's like a minute or less. It's probably 30 seconds really to do that, but it probably saves them time. And then it's probably safer for our packages. Like people look for them at front doors, whereas, putting it behind the tire of my car probably makes it a little bit safer, especially because it's like on the side that the church is on. Oh yeah, I live next to my husband's childhood church, and you can hear the church bells. I'm gonna have to record it one day and put it online for you guys to hear, because it is the most peaceful, beautiful thing I've ever experienced. Somebody came over and they're like, oh, wouldn't that be super annoying? Like, I would hate to live here and hear that. I'm like, no, I love it. I like go outside any chance I get to listen to them. And, because they're not at bad times. They're like 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. is when they ring every day. And I don't think they ring on the weekends. On Sunday for sure, but not, ooh, that looked nice and creepy. See, that was so much better. It looks like a witch lives there. Anyways, but yeah, they're not annoying. They're not, mean or anything. Mean, can an object be mean? It has, anyways, but there's nothing wrong with the church bells. I was kind of offended that the person was like, oh, I'd hate to live here. I was like, I have a nice house, and it sounds really pretty when those go off. Anyways, I struggled here when I should have really thought to just grab like a candle out of the desktop lights and put it on the floor, because it would have lit it up just as much, or actually less, like I wanted, and then I wouldn't have gone through this. And then after I placed the light in there, I was like, oh crap, now I've got to put like paint on the walls instead of the whatever, I guess, what is that called, like drywall? I don't know, guys. I don't know why I put flooring and stuff in here. Like I said, it doesn't have a floor plan. I didn't really need to show you guys that. I didn't put it on the gallery. So I went back to get screenshots and realized I didn't save it. So there's no screenshots, by the way. But thanks again for watching. And if you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.